What's going on, Cancer? Welcome to your weekly forecast for the week of August 2nd through the 8th of 2021. Truly appreciate you for being here. I hope you're doing outstanding. Let's take a look here. Gonna do the chart thing, mix it up a little bit. Well, this whole week is a build up to a new moon on Sunday in your second house. So I think that's great in a lot of ways, because by the end of the week, you're going to have a very good emotional as well as identifying energy of like your capacities, what you can build, what you can create, what feels good, what do you really want, what are the senses telling you in life, money. So it could be a good week, especially coming into next week where it's like you're starting to figure out the money flow that maybe you've been looking for. I think there's a lot of energy there, especially with Mercury, and like being able to understand what you really do want, like what's the best, what's the goodness, what are your values. Maybe values are coming to a new cycle here, and you're having to like make a reevaluation of what you really want in your life, as we are in a dark moon for the first, more the second part of the week. Well, all that energy in your second house is going to square Uranus this week. Moon, Sun, Mercury, it's all squaring Uranus. So I think ultimately it's dealing with, really breakout energy of like really doing what is the best in life for yourself, not holding back, making sure that you're doing, I think, something different. It's almost like the old thing wasn't working, and it's like by this week you're like you realize that there's a different way to do things. So it's like some genius just shows up out of nowhere inside of you, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I could do this to have this and to connect with this in my life, and this is going to be the best. Like that's the kind of stuff that could drop into your life right now. Interesting with being in your 11th house and having Uranus there, like be careful, I guess, with electronics. Like, not that you're going to get shocked by electronics, but I guess if you have something super important that you need to back up, maybe beginning of this week would be a good time to back that up. Like, that kind of came out of nowhere for you, so something to consider. But I think ultimately, like, you're looking at a new way forward here for really, like, the most important things that you value in life and what you truly want, what you truly desire. And how are you going to build those things and, have that stability in your life moving forward? It's probably going to feel unstable in that area this week, but I think afterwards you realize that whatever change you had to make was really putting you into the future you wanted in this physical world, and showing that you had that unique and authentic capacity to go for it and to express it and to shine in it. All that energy, of course, is going to trine over to Chiron this week as well. So Chiron in your 10th, I mean, if you've had like an issue with like stepping out into public right now, I think this is the week where you find the capacity to do so, and like the courage there and the confidence there to do so. And that would be really liberating, I think. So if you need to speak out about something that's been on your mind, like this might be where you have the confidence to really put it out there. No mask, straight, authentic, from your foundation of your values. And Uranus might even give you that like spark to do that right after it makes those trines over to Chiron as well. Just like, I got to do something different for what I want. And of course, it's a big deal, new moon for you in your second house. So I'd say like in a dark moon phase, like it's going to be a weird beginning of the week, but it's whatever the weirdness is that's going to show up, that's going to show you a better way to have what you want and to like really light up your senses. Jupiter and Saturn are in your 8th house. Jupiter's locked in now. They're not getting aspected super hard this week. So they're kind of just, Saturn's trying to have you like find your deep inner power and authority through, it could be different forms of relationships or different forms of feeling like maybe you don't have the power right now, and like kind of surrendering to something, North Node in the 12th, letting go of what it should look like and going for what you're really deeply passionate about. Maybe you don't even have the understanding of what it needs to look like until this week. And then all of a sudden you know exactly what you want to build, for what you want to be emotionally the most attached to. I think, Jupiter coming back into your 8th house is, a big psyche val in a lot of ways, because you might be going into deeper spaces like much deeper exploration and expanding on some of the darker spots of the emotions you haven't looked at yet, or you haven't looked at for the last couple months, I should say, since May. So 2 months or whatever. But it's like there's maybe some unfinished business in there that needs to be looked at, a little bit of shadow, but it's through that darkness, through that shadow, that you're able to open up and expand and really rise back up into the magical dream story when Jupiter comes back in and beginning of next year to your ninth house. Definitely dealing with getting with the right mergers, Cancer, the right partnerships, the right mergers. Gone through a lot in that seventh house over the last few years. This is about not giving up what is of your greatest value, the capacity, the touch, the feel, and the deepest emotions of what you want. So you don't want to, you don't want to just let your deepest desires of what you do want, that does make you feel powerful, that is that deep well of your essence of your being, and that intensity in there too, to just be a black hole. So I would say you have to go into those deeper places right now to really find the gift that's in there and to rise up with that. We're going to see Mars and Venus in your third house. Venus is going to trine over to that Uranus and quincunx over to Chiron in Aries in your 10th. So I think there's like a lot of stuff coming up quick right now, whether it is relationship stuff or new information surfacing. Like, it's happening fast, but it's showing you a lot of what you need to see to move into the future you want with the people you want. So you don't want to like, you just do anything. Like, I think you want to do something that's a little different, like a little wild, a little crazy, that feels like really unique and valued to you. And Mars is definitely giving you the voice to say it here in your third house. Like, if you need to communicate or deal with things that are right in front of your face, like you'll be able to do that no problem. So I mean, I like this week. I think by the end of the week you're going to have a really good sense of what you deeply value and what you deeply want and what's the best and what's giving you the confidence and the authority to bring it out if you need to. Mars in the third is really not scared to speak. So I would imagine if you have to deal with deep things and it's dealing with other people, which the eighth house is definitely dealing with other people too, whether it's love partnerships or business partnerships, even dealing with money, you're going to have to, I would say, like, no bullshit, like just be completely real with what you want in life. And if it's, a better connection to something, you don't want to hide that. If it's just moving and switching things around a little bit to get the future where you want it, to get on the timeline you want to be on, this would be the week where that's going to come up. And it's going to give you that solid, like, confidence to do so, I would think, with that new moon finishing off the week. Two of Pentacles upright. I don't know. It could feel a little up and down in reality this week. I mean, it's definitely a little shaky with the square to Uranus, but whatever's shaky right now, whether it's emotions or reality, like it's showing you something deeper and better that you can move towards. It's going to be the ultimate merge. It's going to be the ultimate return on investment. So it's like, you don't want to get caught like weighing out between what's good and what isn't good and being like, well, I have to stay in this. Like, we're in these times with these eighth house transits. Like, Saturn's not just going to let you stay in a situation you don't enjoy in the eighth house. Like, it'll just take it away. Like, so don't weigh out your happiness right now. I think you're being tested to take your inner authority back, to have that confidence and to be really secure in that, and to not like back down. Like, if you got to rebel against something that doesn't make you feel authentic in yourself and true, like, Uranus isn't going to shy away from that with the squares to your second house here either. So you can weigh things out all you want, but in the end, with your eighth house transit the way it is for the rest of the year, you can either make the choice to find that inner authority and power yourself and go with the value and go with what you really want in life that's going to give you the best, or the universe is just going to take it away at some point anyways, and you'll be left scratching your head being like, man, why didn't I just make the decision the week of the 2nd through the 8th? I love you very much, Cancer. I will catch you next week. Peace.